Well, back to the US, and the US Department of Justice has appointed a special prosecutor to investigate classified documents which were found at US President Joe Biden's home and private office. Live to Republican strategist John Jordan. John, what have we found so far? And I guess one of the questions is, why has it taken so long to find these documents?
First of all, the first tranche of documents, and there were several, were found a week before the midterm elections, but it didn't come to light until recently. In the last few days, it turns out there were several other individual stashes of documents in several other places, including President Biden's garage where he keeps his Corvette, which is an unsecured location, and in his presidential library, which is right now kind of being built at the University of Pennsylvania, which interestingly has been funded with $54 million of Chinese money. What's remarkable here is the speed with which the independent counsel was appointed inside of 2 months of the discovery of the first set of documents. So one can't help but wonder if there was another ongoing investigation into Hunter Biden, and this just kind of brought to light certain other aspects of the investigation which could possibly involve espionage.
All right, and what do we know about the documents?
Well, right now, apparently not a lot. Just speaking objectively, there were just a few right now have been identified as being top secret special compartmented information, which is among the highest level of classification and the highest level of classification in the U.S. government. What those documents pertain to is right now unknown, and nor is the quantity of them unknown. It's not surprising that the administration is not being forthcoming about those documents, and the Justice Department is also being quiet, probably for a different reason, because it's an ongoing investigation.
All right, so how do we compare this to the case with Donald Trump? We're hearing that Joe Biden has been quite cooperative and Donald Trump has refused for more than a year. What are you seeing in terms of the comparisons?
Well, putting my lawyer hat on here, and I have been a lawyer for 20 years, is they're very different. First of all, President Trump was president of the United States when he left with his documents and has ultimate authority to declassify them. So President Trump has an arguable case that, hey, I can do whatever, I can declassify documents and take them with me. And the law is unclear on that. There's no law that says he can't do that. President Biden, on the other hand, was vice president at the time, and the vice president of the United States has no authority whatsoever to declassify anything. So in the case of Trump, it's arguable whether or not those documents were technically classified when he took them to Mar-a-Lago. But in the case of Vice President Biden, they were certainly classified because he couldn't declassify them. Other than that, not a lot is known and facts are ongoing. But the speed with which the Justice Department has gotten on this tells you that there may be more to this, especially with all of the foreign money, whether it's Ukrainian money and Chinese money that Hunter Biden has gotten, and the influence that he had in his dad's vice presidential office and a policy in Ukraine, which is why he was paid millions of dollars to be on the board of Burisma in Ukraine years ago, when in fact he has no business experience or understanding of Ukraine or the natural gas business. So this is malodorous at best from an espionage point of view.
Yeah, a lot to uncover still. What will you be closely looking at between now and the next couple of days?
Yeah, I'm going to be looking at seeing what types of documents they were, what those pertain to. You have classified documents that deal with anything from Russia to China to Ukraine to any number of other countries around the world. What were these documents, and why were they in Joe Biden's garage? They weren't in a facility like President Trump's Mar-a-Lago facility. As a former president, the facility is secured by the Secret Service. Vice President Biden's then home was just a locked garage where he kept his Corvette. So it'd be interesting to see what those documents were and what other witnesses are interviewed. And right now it looks like former then Vice President's executive assistant, a lady by the name of Kathy Chung, who got her job through Hunter Biden, has been interviewed repeatedly by federal authorities. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that in the coming days and weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. And just quickly, what we're reporting on today is the court in the US fined former President Donald Trump's real estate company over $2.3 million. He actually himself was not charged. The penalty is a maximum possible amount under the state law. What can you tell us about this current situation?
Well, currently, I mean, it was a corporation that was charged, one of many corporations owned by partially controlled or completely owned by President Trump. They paid at one point was $1.6 million settlement. Or fine, rather. It's interesting that the Justice Department of the state of New York didn't charge any individuals or charge President Trump. They did charge one of the bookkeepers who got something, but it was for his benefit, not President Trump. So there's not even an allegation here, really, or in terms of people being personally charged, that President Trump benefited. His former CFO is going to jail, but that's for benefits that he took and he did not pay taxes on himself, which is a different matter entirely. Interestingly enough, and this should disturb all of us in the English-speaking world who are concerned with the rule of law, is that Letitia James, the Attorney General for New York, which is an elected position, ran for office saying that she was going to get Trump. I mean, it wasn't I'm going to restore law and order or I'm going to, protect the people of New York. Is I'm going to get one man. And when law enforcement is weaponized in this way, whether you love or hate the Republicans or Trump or whomever, this is a scary thing because this goes nowhere good.
John Jordan, live in California. Thank you as always. Talk to you again soon.
My pleasure.